As world leaders are set to gather in Poland to fine-tune the Paris Climate Agreement, President Donald Trump is continuing his push to dismantle Obama administration efforts to rein in coal, oil and gas emissions. He's putting aside warnings about the devastating impact of climate change.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
The US is far from being the driving force it was during the Paris climate talks under President Barack Obama.
And when it comes to climate change, that hour is almost upon us.
The euphoria of 2015 has given way to sober realization that getting an agreement amongst almost 200 countries will be challenging, as evidenced by Trump's decision to pull the United States out of the Paris Accord.
The Paris Climate Accord is simply the latest example of Washington entering into an agreement that disadvantages the United States to the exclusive benefit of other countries.
An email obtained by the Associated Press under the Freedom of Information Act shows the administration withdrew from the Paris Agreement with no clear climate policy in place.
It was a huge sort of punch in the gut for a number of countries because they had worked from a world where the U.S. was at the center of these negotiations to now being sort of a sideshow.
The initial shock of the abrupt U.S. retreat galvanizing international support for climate efforts.
And when President Trump rejected that, it really brought the rest of the world together with new will to take action.
But the Trump administration's retreat may show governments and companies they can ignore global climate concerns and not be held accountable.
There's some signs in Australia. The new government in Brazil is obviously not a strong climate policy expert, but big countries like China and India and Europe have said, in essence, we're going to keep plowing ahead and we're going to even go faster and take up a kind of stronger role in leading this thing.
The State Department, in an email, notes that the U.S. is still sending a delegation to the Poland climate talks, despite pulling out of the Paris Accord. Tracy Brown, Associated Press.